In this episode, oh man, I hope you don't catch what I caught. Hey, what's going on? What's going on? My name's Michael Sahno, and welcome to the Sea and Land Fitness Podcast, the podcast of professional tactical fitness. This podcast is brought to you by Sea and Land Fitness, the home of professional tactical fitness. So head on over to www.sandlfit.com. That's www.sandlfit.com and see what we can do for you. This podcast is also brought to you by a slew of people. Are you ready? It's brought to you by 511 Tactical. It's brought to you by Condor Outdoor. It's brought to you by Garmin. It is also brought to you by who else? Thorne. And it's brought to you by Transparent Labs. And finally, RDX Sports. Yeah, we got a lot of sponsors. A lot of people that no, just kidding. No, a lot of people that can help you on your professional tactical fitness journey. So head to the description below and check out the links there. And I'll go into it more at the end. All right. So, hey, I've been sick. I was sick for like 3 weeks. Really nasty. I'm going to go into it. Sorry. I'm going to be a little gross, but hey, exercise physiology. You got to take the good with the bad. So I was laid out for about almost a month, and it started about maybe 3.5 weeks ago. And I was, well, for those of you who don't know, I made a commitment back in November that I would work out outside all winter long. And I'm in the Hudson Valley in New York, and it got really cold. So I'm out in the barn in, 10-degree weather doing bench presses, doing squats, doing, all kinds of stuff. Just doing my full workout outside. And on top of that, I was also, still am, doing my sort of like a road march. So what I do is I take the weight vest, and I put the weight plates in it, and I would do a mile. And yeah, it's only a mile. And yeah, the weight vest is only 20 pounds, but it's 20 pounds more than you normally carry and walk around in. So a mile builds up over time. And I was doing that, 4 to 5 days a week. So long story short, it was brutally cold. I did all these workouts in that brutal cold. So what? Big fat hairy deal. Toughen up, get through it. And that's essentially exactly what I did. Is I just, knuckled under, dressed appropriately, and went out there and did the workouts. And then about 3 weeks ago, I swear to God, and I know this is going to be a brutal, gross little episode here. So I'm out there and I'm doing this workout, and I start farting. All right. And I'm like, whoa, what's up with that? All right, whatever. No big deal. And then one of them, I literally almost shit my pants. So I'm like, what the, holy crap. So I wander in, I go back in the house, And my wife is like, "You're done already?" I'm like, "No, I gotta just check. I gotta make sure I'm good." And I was. Um, but I was like, man, that was crazy. It's not normal. So whatever. Day goes by, finish the workout, day goes by, go out there for my next workout. Same thing happens again. Luckily, I did not shit my pants. But I was terrified. And for those of you out there who know about this stuff, when you get a stomach bug or something and you basically are terrified that you're going to be a shardy marty and just like it's scary, it's horrifying, it's embarrassing. But so I'm like, wow, this is crazy. And this is where it gets gross. I started having these really foul smelling farts. And oh my God, I can't believe I'm telling this story. But for any of you who are married, my wife knew I was sick. And I started having these really foul passages of gas. And my wife at the beginning of the week was like, "Oh, honey, it's okay. Don't worry. You'll get better. You'll feel better." And towards the end, she was like, "Oh my God, what's wrong? You got to go to the doctor." Because they were just brutal. It was brutal. So this went on for like a week. And the next week, but I worked out that whole week regardless. You know what I mean? That's how dedicated I am, that I will shit my pants just to get my workout in. So anyways, that eventually passed. And I was like, wow, all right, this is cool. I'm better. So I think it was Sunday. Might have been Sunday or Saturday. I can't remember which one. But I woke up after being, having that stomach bug and having felt better, feeling like it had passed out of my system, was like, okay, cool. One morning I woke up and I couldn't even like talk. My throat was so sore. And I was like, what the heck is this? This is weird. So it went from being a stomach bug to like a chest cold. And then it went from being a chest cold. That went on for like a week. Then a week, halfway through that week, it went to like some kind of sinus cold where like my teeth hurt. There was so much pressure in my sinuses. And what's crazy about it is every Monday I started to feel better and I would go out and I would do my walk and I would do my chest and back workout. And by the end of it, I would be worn out. But I couldn't tell because my chest and back workout's pretty intense. So I was like, oh, I'm exhausted. Anyways, and I would wake up the next day and just be wrecked, so gassed, so like couldn't do anything else. And it stunk because at the end of that gastrointestinal week, I had to do this podcast and I didn't even have the energy to set up all the equipment to do it. That's how taxing this thing was. That's how taxing this bug was. And I either got the flu, which started as a gastrointestinal flu, and then wound up that flu's morphed into some kind of respiratory flu. But never so much that and it was really weird. It was never like I was sneezing. It was never I was coughing. So that one day was tough. But outside of that, I was always I always had energy to do stuff, but never enough energy to do the stuff I needed to do. Like I could get up, I could go to the grocery store and come back because I would feel better. And then at the grocery store, I would like start sweating uncontrollably, like I had just like I was wearing too many clothes, and then like shake, get the shivers later on in the evening, and then around like 8 or 9 o'clock, boom, feel totally better. And then about an hour after that, get totally exhausted and have to go to sleep. So for the past 3 weeks, I have been goofing off playing video games, and just really going hard into Microsoft puzzles, jigsaw puzzles. I don't know if you guys ever do that, but they're fun as hell. Podcasts in the background, puzzles in the foreground. But so this had a really big effect on this workout plan that I had. I wasn't able to keep dates that I wanted to. Like I wasn't able to keep my schedule, my workout schedule, which was upsetting because I made this little program for myself to work out all winter. And what's funny about it though is that as I started, like let's say a week and a half into it, the weather started getting nice. So essentially I've worked out through the coldest parts of this winter, the darkest parts of this winter. We had the time change just recently, so that's moved my workouts into sunlight again, thank God. But all of the stuff. Oh, there was another thing that happened. I wound up getting this really horrible taste in my mouth. Like, and it wouldn't go away, and it would just like stay there all day. And even if I, brushed my teeth and, did the Listerine, which you got to do every day, twice a day at least. I would do that and it would still, that taste would still be there. So it must have been some kind of like sinus infection coupled with, honestly, everyone's saying it, but I don't think it is. But it probably was. It was probably COVID or some shit like that. The COVID-19. But it just beat the shit out of me. And it really messed up my workout and my training schedule. But what I did with the time was work on the business plan for the stuff that's coming up soon. And that's why we have so many sponsors now. It's because I've developed all these little relationships here and there. And I made practical use of my downtime. But I was supposed to, like, I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm a pistol instructor, firearms instructor at West Point. I volunteer to do that, to help the cadets and the military families. And there were a couple of things I was supposed to go to, and I was just and I love doing that stuff, and I was just too wrecked to even show up. But I made good use of my time. I restricted my intake so that this time off wouldn't fatten me up, so to speak, while I was waiting. Because for me, and this is normal, this is actually a normal thing that you guys are probably aware of, but if you're not, this will be helpful to someone who's not aware of this. my food intake, my caloric intake increases when I work out, usually on days that I work out. And it's really easy to stop working out for a little spell and keep that, maintaining that level of food intake. And you really should reduce that intake when you're not working out, because it's putting too much gas in the car. And in the beginning it's not really going to do anything. um you'll evacuate it when you go to the bathroom. But if you continue to do it, the body will, oh, we're getting all these calories probably because we need them, and your body will hold on to it in some form. And that's usually as fat, adipose tissue. So, but it was horrible. It was horrible being sick. It isn't until this past weekend that I finally started to feel better. There's still a scratch in my throat and I'm still coughing stuff up, but overall I feel better. I just got a new plate carrier from Condor to test out for you guys, and it is the Sentry plate carrier. And it's funny because I have a lot of experience using a plate carrier for fitness, and I've used the 511, I've used some Condor, and they all Velcro in the front, and this has buckles. And coming from my tactical mind, my time in the military, keeping it snug is the most important thing, and keeping all the gear in the right place. So Velcro, not using Velcro, what's called a cummerbund, which is the like belt thing that connects the bottom of the front and the back. Not using Velcro feels like I'm cheating. You know what I mean? So using a plate carrier that I can get on and off quickly, I was like, oh my gosh, I can get this on and off so quick, is kind of really nice. And I don't know, I'm being introduced to all this new fun gear from all of these companies. Um, but yeah, so today was the first day I have been able to work out and feel good afterward. I have another workout this evening. That's that chest workout. It's Monday. It's that chest workout that I got to get in. And I'm feeling a lot better. This weekend I wound up having all these bursts of energy. But I have to be careful because, I'm telling you this story for a reason. Listening to this story and listening to everything that I went through over the past 3 weeks and what I'm going through right now can be used as a guidepost for when you're not feeling well, and can be used as some guidelines that you can establish for yourself, sort of a roadmap on how to get back to training after taking a couple of weeks off due to illness, due to being sick. I'm going to have a sip of coffee. Peter Madeira, this is for you, of course. But like I have to do, and I'm going to tell you because I'm not trying to I do exercise for maintenance, okay, to maintain a level of fitness. I'm not out there to crush PRs and stuff like that. I will push past what, I've normally done, but you have to understand that in order to keep injury off, PRs are not really something that I'm not interested in. So it's not that I'm not capable of lifting heavy weights. I totally can. It's just for the purposes of my training, I'm not interested in blowing out like a 300-pound bench press. So, and on top of that, if I do have energy at the end, which I always do, I'll just bang out another set of 10 reps. So one of the things that I do right now is I throw 255s on a barbell for my bench press, and then the incline I take 10 pounds off and do 245s. Which I don't even, what is that, 100 something, 90 something? But it's not crazy weight, but it's significant weight. And when I was sick, it felt like my shoulders were going to pop off. And I was like, what the hell's going on? This is like not even that much. But anyways, what was I saying that for? I'm saying that because I'm going to go down to the barn and do my chest and my my back exercise, and I think I might drop down 10 pounds for each of it. Now, I probably don't need to. I may do a set and then just add those 10 pounds back. But, and this is the most important thing for all of you guys, when you're coming back from an illness, when you're coming back from being sick, take it easy. Don't go right into the workout that you did before. Do a 50%, maybe even a 75%, but at least a 50% of what you did beforehand, because you don't want to injure yourself. Your body is expending resources to heal you from whatever illness you had. You have a finite set of resources. You will pull those resources off of, not all of them, but some of those resources off of healing yourself from being ill to healing your workout. You know what I mean? The muscle tears, the not the hypertrophy, but the basically whatever it takes to recover from your workout will come from the resources that you're using to heal from your illness. And you don't want to take too much away from that. You can take some away from it. That's why you want to get out there and exercise. You want to get back to it. But just be careful, pace yourself like I'm going to pace myself. This week I'm going to take it easy. I say that now. I'm probably going to be a knucklehead and go hard or go home. Kind of stupid shit that I sometimes pull. But do as I say, not as I do. I think that's something my dad said to me. Anyways, but yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I hope this story was helpful. I know it was gross in the beginning, but if you're dealing with the flu, if you're dealing with COVID, you got to take time off. And after you take time off, you want to get back to it. Just get back to it the right way. And there you go. That's all I got for you. All right. That is all I've got for you. I am back. Took too long off. And I'm super excited to be bringing all this stuff to you. I'm super excited about all the people who are sponsoring this, all the companies. But first and foremost, who brought this to you? Sea and Land Fitness. So head on over to www.sandlfit.com. That's www.sandlfit.com. We have moved a ton of stuff off the site. We have brought in a lot of branded merchandise, which you can find in the store. Please help support everything that we do in the professional tactical fitness world, and pick yourself up access to our fitness programs, and get yourself a hat, get yourself a t-shirt, get yourself a sweatshirt. We got all kinds of great stuff, and I love making this stuff and designing it. So head on over, to www.sandlfit.com. And of course, we're also brought to you by 511 Tactical, makers of some of the highest quality tactical gear and tactical fitness gear on the planet. We use their sandbags. We use their weight vests. So hit the link in the description and go on over and get yourself some 511. We're also brought to you by Condor Outdoor. And if 511 is just outside your price range, hit up Condor Outdoor. I've been using some of their plate carriers, their weight vests, to test them out for you guys. And I gotta tell you, they give you a lot of bang for the buck. They don't have all the bells and whistles, but they have enough to get you through the workout and get you through the workout comfortably. So head on over to the link in the description if that's what you're interested in. We are also brought to you by Garmin. What's up, Garmin? Makers of the absolute preeminent wearables, sports watches, outdoor watches. I mean, it's why I wear it. Enough said. And if you're interested, head on over to the link in the description below for that. Thorne research some of the best supplements on the planet. I take their supplements. I take their what do I take? I take their 2-a-day vitamins, their multivitamin. I use their creatine every morning. I use their curcumin, the active ingredient in turmeric. Love it. Live it. It changed my life. And you can get 10% off at my dispensary. So check the link in the description below. If there's stuff that you want that I don't have in there, let me know and I'll put it in there. On track with supplements, Transparent Labs. Both of these companies, what's on the bottle is inside the bottle. So third-party verification. Transparent Labs, I use their pre-workout. They have peach mango, which is my favorite, and I love it. And when I work out, I use Transparent Labs pre-workout. I live for it. I love it. It is, and there are a lot of pre-workouts I've tried, and they just didn't do it. They either made me feel like crazy or uncomfortable or whatever Transparent Labs is using in their little voodoo mix of, it's called bulk. You got to try it. So hit the link in the description below, get yourself some, and let me know how it worked for you. Finally, we're brought to you by RDX Sports, makers of some of the best combat sports equipment on the planet. I use it. I use their boxing gloves. One finger. I had two fingers up if you're not watching this. I use their boxing gloves for Muay Thai. Love them. And I use their focus pad mitts. And my son and I, when we're sparring or doing some training, we use their protective gear. Love it. Head to the link in the description below. There's a code right there. Use it for 10% off in your cart. And that's all I got for you. Thank you for watching this podcast or listening to it. We appreciate you. We love you. Thank you to all you honey badgers. Honey Badger Actual out.